So this is one word story, and we'll talk about how it might benefit the family afterwards. But we're going to be telling a story one word at a time. So for example, the order will be, I'll start, then Karen, then Ron, then Melly, and then me again, because stories usually have a beginning, a middle, or an end, right? So I'm going to give us the title of a story that's never been told before, and we're going to share it one word at a time. Now, one of the basic rules in improv is there's no mistakes, no failures. So if you say two words, so what? It's okay. It's all okay. All right. So the name of the story is going to be The Bunny Rabbit That Lost His Hat. The bunny rabbit that lost his hat. Everybody heard that? The bunny rabbit lost his hat.
Okay. Yes, me.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
it. The title is called The Bunny Rabbit That Lost Its Hat.
Oh.
Okay, great.
So what?
Okay.
So we're going to tell a story one word at a time, each of us.
You can say two.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start, then after Karen, then Ron goes, then Melly. We're going to keep going around a little bit. Okay. One
Day,
It
Ran
two
the
field
of
poppies
and
with
a
hat
the
picture
above
showed
starry
Margot.
the
here. Okay, go, what?
period. The
Bunny
said
Returned
to
fields
with
the
hat
because
we can't,
it froze on you.
it's still frozen.
because
What was the sense?
that's all right. We almost ended the story. Good job. Okay. So just now you were working as a team, weren't you? Okay.
Right?
When people first learn this game, there's a lot of different things they're thinking. And can you tell me anything about what that game was like for you, perhaps, Karen?
Well, I think it on the one hand it's fun and you know, silly, but on the other hand it puts a little pressure on having to come up with something when it's my turn.
Right. So there's a little anxiety in it. Did anybody feel like, I know what I want the next person to say? I know what word I want them to say, and then they don't say it and you get upset because they're not taking the story where you want to take it, right? Okay. They're not being good students, all right? Now, this is the thing. We all feel that way because we start running in our heads where we want the story to go. But because it's a team game, we have to accept whatever is said before us and after us, even though we know where the story should go. We're each right. Melly, you're identifying with that, aren't you?
I was aware of it. Like I was aware of that process of like, oh yeah.
And it did become easier to accept that, I think. I felt like I kept anticipating what Ron would say in the beginning, but then afterwards I went, okay, well, this is just a story, so let's just go with it. And it became a little easier.
And it was a pretty funny story. I mean, there were several things. I was in this story. That was great. So can we see maybe ways that this could apply to the three of you, the family dynamic? Because part of the theme. There's a couple of themes, but I want to see what you might have gotten out of it. Forget about the silly story, but what you might have gotten out of it individually.
The desire to control.
Mhm.
You notice that, right?
Mhm.
But you don't have any control, do you?
No.
Okay. So you recognize the desire to control. So if you're not controlling, what do you have to do to make the story work?
Surrender.
Surrender is the word.
Accept.
Accept, Karen.
Yeah.
We have to accept what's going on in the here and now. Okay? And so that means letting go of expectations, right? Our expectations can be, sometimes if we have too many expectations and people don't live up to those expectations, they cause resentments. And then the higher the expectation, the greater the resentment, as we're not satisfied with what that person is or is not doing. So you think this might be a game that you could play as a team effort, no matter where you want it to go, but see it as a team effort? What do you think? Ron, what do you think?
What?
Do you, do you think you could play this game with the girls in the house?
Sure.
I don't mean to be a sexist by that, okay, but Ron is surrounded by women.
I can do that. That's, I'm used to that from the improv.
Okay,
What
so
little bit
the underlying messages, though, is acceptance. We need to accept what we can do and what we can change and what we can't change. And in some instances, although we don't want to hear it, we can be powerless over other people as well. So, Melly, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good reminder of, it's a good breakup in our dynamics. When things feel intense, we can just, it's good for me to let go and accept more. So I like that. I like that game as a reminder when we're feeling tense about someone not doing something the way we want them to. Whatever.
Exactly. And you were very brave to do that. Really brave. I want to acknowledge you. You just did a great improv game.
I like that one.
And